So next up is Craig Newsom.
Yeah, sure. So, okay, so John was just talking about emulation, and everyone here has been talking about emulation. For some reason, when I'm on the iPod, I don't want to emulate it. And I'm really more interested in what I can do on the iPod that can't be done elsewhere. And this is Sketchbook Mobile, which is pretty much what I do everything in. One thing I found out about it right away was there's a symmetry function on it. And I thought to myself, well, that's unnatural in a lot of respects. It's not how I draw. So that's kind of something that's lodged into the iPod, and that way of working that I could grab hold of and use. Mostly this is kind of what I do on the iPod, is just face after face after face with the symmetry function on. And at a certain point though, well, I had a discussion, well, it's more like an argument with someone who wanted to close, who didn't think that the darkroom was worthwhile anymore, and that everything was going digital, so why work in the darkroom? Whenever I hear something like that, that sort of makes me want to do that. If I'm told not to do something, then I want to do it. So you can go to the next one. What I did here was I took the Sketchbook Mobile image into Photoshop, reversed it into a black and white negative, and then printed it on a transparency. And then I've taken a sheet of paper, coated that with liquid emulsion, and then I took that into the darkroom and exposed it, you know, like you'd expose a photo, and then proceeded to develop it. I did some other stuff with the liquid emulsion, and it didn't turn out that great. Go to the next one. Yeah, that's a little blurry. But what I really liked about it was all of a sudden there was this texture in there, which of course doesn't really exist in the digital stuff. So then, let's see the next one. Here's another face that I did a while ago. And I kept thinking about the photographic process in some way to transfer that into the photographic process. Somebody told me about cyanotype, and I'd never done that before, so I ordered some chemicals, and I wear my gloves when I use them so I don't kill myself. And I coated the paper with the cyanotype chemical. Anybody done cyanotype in here? It's actually pretty easy. You just coat the paper with it. You take your stuff outside on a sunny day, and you let it sit there for a while, and then you come back in and you put it in water, and it's done. You know. So here's the cyanotype version of that. Wow. And what I think is interesting is the play back and forth between the textures and the physicality of this thing that doesn't ordinarily exist in the digital. Of course, you lose things. You know, I lose a lot of the color. And maybe even some of the detail, but I feel like I'm gaining something also when I do with cyanotype.